1 Kings 9 verse 1. The first thing you must give God is a house. There are 2 homes you must give God. Number 1, your life. Number 2, a place. 1 Kings 9 verse 1. And it came to pass that when Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord, he put his desire as tertiary, put God's house as primary, put the office as secondary, put his desire as tertiary. Let me give you how things go in this kingdom, child of God, is that if God has no house, you don't deserve one. One day God began to cry. He said, you live in good homes, but my house is full of dust, parchments and patches. How can you stay in that kind of a house and I don't have a place to dwell? How? That God so wanted a house that he compromised what he made and had to build an ark that he will enter the ark, and Israel had to carry that ark everywhere. Can you imagine that God was so desperate for a house, he began to stay inside plank. The first thing God needs is a house. 1 Corinthians 3 verse 16 to 19. Know ye not that your bodies are the temple? Child of God, the house does not determine its decoration. It is the person that stays in the house that determines the house decoration. When you give your life to Christ, you don't determine how he fixes you. He fixes the house to his standard. Welcome to an era where the house has a say. You enter the house, they painted white, and you like blue paint, you change the paint and the house didn't complain. You enter a house and the chair is on this side, you move the chair to this side and the house didn't complain. Houses don't complain, they comply. If you are a house, who gave you a say? I don't like how God is treating me. Sir, put shit in your house, the house will not complain. Paint the wall black, it will not complain. Spit on the house, it will not complain. Your toilet has never complained about how you use it. So God is saying that by you being a house, you have no right to tell me the kind of decoration and use that can enter into your life. When you become a child of God, you become a house in the spirit. By implication, God puts any deco he wants on you. There are churches that don't have a building and their members have houses, and even their pastor has a house and the church has no building. There are churches that have members that have a lot of money and their church is looking for a place. There are churches that their members have lands in their names and their churches have no lands in their name. There are churches where their members have television and their church has nothing. The glory of the believers is the beauty of the kingdom, not their personal empire. That the kingdom has a need and you have it in your hand becomes a shame to the body of Christ. In the book of Luke 8 verse 1 to 3, amplified version, most of us here don't know that Jesus Christ ran ministry by people's salaries. Jesus began going around preaching and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and the 12 disciples were with him. Who sponsored them? Next verse. And also some women who had been healed from evil spirits and disease. Mary called Magdalene, from the city of Magdala in Galilee, from whom 7 demons came out. And many others who did what? Contributed to their support out of their private means. So the crusades of Jesus was sponsored by the private salary of his followers. That's not all. He said, as the custom of a rabbi's disciple was. So it is a custom in the kingdom that a rabbi should not organize programs on his expenditure. The Catholics understand this, press understand this, Baptists understand this. You will not see a Catholic or press or Baptist pastor looking for house rents because they take care of it. The first thing they supply is a house. Where does your priest stay? Do you know? Do you care? Where does your God stay? Your God lives in a house where landlord sends him away. Your God lives in a house where the neighborhood can fight the church. Your God is staying in a house of plank and you have a house of block. Your God lives in a house not properly painted and you stay in a well-painted apartment. God's jealousy, Jehovah Nkwana, was provoked in the Old Testament. He said, look at your houses. When I go to visit them at night, when I go to encounter them, the kind of TV I see, but when I come back to the church and I see there's nothing on the wall, I get angry. The first thing the woman gave was a house. If you don't contribute in building God a house and you build your house, you are not a kingdom person. You are a personal person. Care about yourself. If you find a TV in my house and the church doesn't have it, something is wrong with me. We have taken chair and given pastor and we need the chair. I've gone to preach and I dash the person that hosts me piano. I've gone to preach and the mic is disturbing and I buy mic for the church I'm preaching for. I've gone to churches and I pay the pastor's church rent for 6 months. severally, because it is my father's house. Anywhere there's a need, I have to show up. The woman gave a house.